Mr. President, thank you very much for being with us at this 15th European Seminar of ELIAMEP. It's a great pleasure and of course an honor to have you here. You talked today about the level of support for European integration being higher than it has ever been for 27 years. Yet, Europe finds it extremely difficult to agree on most issues. We are divided very often. So the question is, what are the prospects? Are we going to remain together because we are afraid of the alternative, yet unable to agree, or what? Is there a better perspective?
Thank you, first of all, because you mentioned that the degree of support for EU membership is the highest in 27 years. But we also have to acknowledge that we are not drawing all the conclusions from this strong support. I think a lot of people know that in order to solve the big issues of our time, migration, competitiveness of the European economy vis-à-vis China and the United States, terrorism, climate change, we need more Europe. But again, we see the need, but it's not translated in policies. So leadership is absolutely needed. And this leadership has to come from EU institutions. We will have a new commission and a new president of the commission. It's very promising. But at the same time, you need also the same engagement, the same commitment at the level of the European Council. And I know that every country is equal, and both we come from smaller countries. There are no small countries.
There are some more equal than others.
Yes. But among those two, more equal than others is France and Germany. And they have to work much more together. It was in the beginning, 2 years ago, in the presidency of President Macron. Again, it was very promising. We are disappointed. But we see also that there is now more cooperation in, for instance, industrial policy, facing the challenges coming from China and from the US. So I'm not desperate at all. Huh? But we live in a new world, in a world where the balance of power is changing rapidly. And an individual country cannot give the solutions to its own citizens. So we need much more assertiveness on the European side. I call it more European sovereignty or more European autonomy. I think that we have to have that kind of self-confidence so that we can react. And we need this sovereignty at the European level, this autonomy on different avenues. We need it on trade, we need it on energy. We are too depending, some of our countries, from Russian oil and gas. We need it in the military field. I'm not speaking about the European army, that's too far, but we can do a lot more on cooperation, on integration. We took some steps, but not enough. So there is a broad range of topics on which we can do much more in order to defend our principles in the world and to defend our interests. And that was my message of today.
Okay. But as long as we succeed in convincing our fellow European citizens that Europe can provide a better answer, a more effective answer than individual national answers on a variety of issues. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people, even a big majority of people, they know it. And even if they don't express it so clearly in a pro-European message, they know that in the world of today, a standalone for one country is not an issue anymore. And that we have to take an advantage of that kind of sensitivity. And therefore leadership is needed. Leadership from the European institutions and leadership from the member states.
Certainly, as far as Greece is concerned, the standalone policy we know doesn't work.
No, but we help Greece.
Well, of course. And we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.